can see Dublin, 1961, which in the grand scheme of things really isn't that long ago. Dublin is the first modern residential development in terms of the modern city of Dublin. And a lot has happened, obviously, since then. You fast forward to today. Oh, man. There we go. Oh, wrong one. There we go. So you can see, quite a bit has changed. 1961 is when the modern residential development began. Dublin incorporated as a city in 1982. So relatively recent history. Dublin's initial growth west of Doherty Road was part of Alameda County. So from 1982, when we incorporated as a city, a lot of the focus until the mid-90s was starting with the redevelopment in terms of the existing properties. And then later on, we see the Eastern Dublin Specific Plan. This is a voter-approved plan within the city of Dublin that the council has been busy implementing since the mid-90s. We see the development here at basically everything east of Camp Parks. And I think the focus really of the Eastern Dublin Specific Plan, if I were to summarize it in a basic way, has been balance. The plan, if you look at it, has been a very big balance. The residential uses balance between high density, medium density, and low density, so we can provide housing for all income levels at all different types and stock, in addition to a big balance of office and commercial and retail. So that was one of the biggest things that Dublin has strived to implement as part of the Eastern Dublin Specific Plan, is that balance, and you can see some of the numbers in the slide. When it comes to some of the higher density housing, Dublin was one of the first cities in the Tri-Valley to really embrace this because of the need to provide, as we've talked about before, different housing stock for different types of families within the workforce. One of those, you can see a couple different examples here, the villas, the villages at Dublin Ranch. You have about 1,400 units here. I actually live in the villages, great community. You have 2 neighborhood parks within walking distance right in the middle of the community. So it's a great amenity. And I think one of the things that you see the real focus of a village. So it's called Dublin Ranch Villages. You see the neighborhood surrounding, and then you see a commercial promenade right down in the middle. That's going to be a future Main Street retail. And again, you can see the Bray Commons Park and the neighborhood square next to it. A very walkable community, and it's going to be anchored by a club sport development that we see here as the promenade. Club Sport Fitness Center is going to be one of the main anchors in the promenade, and it's something that is a real amenity for the residents in that area. In terms of mixed use, again, Dublin has been one of the cities that really embraced mixed use early on. A very successful center is the Waterford Shopping Center, which recently changed ownership, and the new ownership really actively engaged in terms of filling that site. But it's been a huge success. You've got the residential over retail. It's always filled, high demand for any of the shops that are there. And it's always busy, always bustling with activity. And what you don't see behind the Waterford is Emerald Glen Park, which has been a real gem, a community park of approximately 60 acres that a lot of residents within the area, again, can walk to, part of the whole walkability, which is something that the council has always stressed. Dublin, in addition, on the housing side, is also focused on transit-oriented development, and I think we've seen that as part of the current transit center, the East Dublin Transit Center. Right now, you see the residential that's built, and again, the residential that you see built next to BART is a combination of for sale and rental housing. So again, providing for different needs, but it's not just housing. You see the housing there right now, but you have 70,000 square feet of ancillary retail and 1.7 million square feet of office that's going to be part of that development. So a real commitment to that transit-oriented development. And we just voted the other night to reduce the development impact fees, the traffic impact fees, by over 25% as a facilitator to encourage development within that area. We know fees are necessary, they mitigate infrastructure, but at the same time, if we can lower the fees to help entice development, that's something that we've embraced. Here we see the perspective, the future perspective of the West Dublin BART station, scheduled to open in spring 2011. You can see the walkways there, both in the Pleasanton side that Mayor Hosterman referenced, as well as the Dublin side. This is a big way to really, we think, kickstart our downtown, but also to really utilize the undeveloped properties right around the BART station. You've got a lot of undeveloped land that we think will really take advantage of the proximity to the new BART station. And you also have some existing structures, some old warehouse buildings that were built in the 60s and 70s, some opportunities to knock some of those down and look at some housing opportunities, some office opportunities, and some retail and restaurants. One of those is A&B focus. There's a transit village there that's proposed. We also have some other developments. Essex is also going to be moving on the former WinStar site and doing some exciting things there. On housing, we focus on some of those developments that are up there. We're also right now looking at some lower density housing. We've got on our western side Schaefer Ranch. On our eastern side, we've got the Positano development with Braddock and Logan. We've got Sorrento, which is coming in for a redesign. As they've already been approved by the Planning Commission at a little bit lower densities. So again, you see the commitment to the higher densities, the medium densities, the mixed use, but you also have some of the lower densities as well. When it comes to approved commercial development projects, I think we all know the economic times that we're in. We have not sat idle because we realize this is a great opportunity to plan. This is a great opportunity to entitle. Like everyone in this room, we want to see things move forward quickly, but we also understand the challenges given the current market situation. But we're going to entitle things and work with the business community to get things ready so that as soon as the market hits, we're ready to go. So we've got some of these approved projects we can talk about. The Green at Park Place, this is an excellent site right by the BART station. So you've got the transit center with the 1.7 million square feet of office and the 1,700 housing units and some of the ancillary retail. Right next to it is a lifestyle center that's entitled, ready to go. The Green at Park Place, 27-acre site, 305,000 square feet of retail. Again, we feel this is one of the best locations for retail in the Tri-Valley because of its proximity to the 680 and 580 corridor, as well as BART. We've got Fallon Gateway, and Fallon Gateway, it's at I-580 and Fallon, right at the intersection there. It's a great commercial project, going to be anchored by Target. But I think the infrastructure that supports this, I really want to highlight, we just broke ground on this, the Fallon interchange, because that was a partnership between the cities of Dublin, Pleasanton, Livermore, and Alameda County to help facilitate economic development in all four jurisdictions, whether it was Staples Ranch, whether it was the Livermore project that we heard about on El Charro, and here the Fallon Gateway. We partnered on that infrastructure, we got it done, and it's going to facilitate developments in all the cities and the county. And that's one thing that we really stress in the Tri-Valley is the importance of working together. We all have our own projects, but when we come together, we can get a lot of great things done, and that piece of infrastructure will benefit all of the cities. The downtown is another area I talked about before we were incorporated. Was initially developed by Alameda County. Now we're in the process of redeveloping that into our own downtown. And we have the downtown area that we looked at as the area between I-580 and the BART, where the BART station is going to go, and we feel the BART station will be a real catalyst for the downtown. You also have Village Parkway, Hamilton Valley Boulevard, and San Ramon Road. So it's that core area that you see right in the middle of the primary planning area. We have a strategy when it comes to the downtown that we feel is pretty unique to planning. And what we're going to do is not do traditional planning in the sense that, you think of property that's zoned and every parcel is defined, you know what's going to go on an individual parcel. What we are in the process of doing is a traffic study and breaking down our downtown into 3 districts: the retail district, the transit-oriented district, and the Village Parkway district. Within each district, we are determining the uses that traffic can handle for office, residential, and retail. Now, once we know what that square footage is for each of those uses within the district, the market will determine what moves forward as long as it meets the square foot cap and doesn't cause traffic. So by right, we are increasing the floor area ratio. So that way, by right now, let's say if you had a property in the retail district and there was only 0.2 square FAR of development, by right you could go up to 0.35. So we're trying to encourage by right, allowing people to densify within the downtown and develop. But then we are also trying to give people an incentive to go beyond that as long as they don't exceed the overall cap for the entire area. So any property owner, if there's a property owner in the downtown who's willing to do something and they've got a project and they don't exceed the overall cap for a particular area, we're going to work with them because we want to work with the property owners that want to make those kind of improvements. And if for them to exceed the overall cap, they'll pay into a community benefit plan that will allow the city to construct piazzas or public areas. But we feel it's a pretty creative approach to development because it doesn't tie people down to where they have to go through an extensive rezone or an extensive general plan amendment, because we're going to entitle those things by right as long as it doesn't exceed the cap and people can buy the pool into the pool for the extra development rights. So we think it's a strategy in addition to being a downtown specific plan. And again, you see the community benefit payment. We have a capacity by district, so you'll have part of it by right, looking ahead. And then if we pay into the community benefit program, the city will get some of those public uses, but you will at the same time be able to increase the density of your overall development. We like to say Dublin's a great place to grow. This is some of the residential and commercial side. We've got some great parks moving forward. The Fallon Sports Park, 60-acre sports park with 2 turf fields. We've got a historic park. So we've got some pretty creative park uses. We're working in terms of camp parks, and as Guy Houston mentioned, a number of different economic incentive programs that we've seen bring to businesses to Dublin, such as Graybar Electric with our sales tax reimbursement. We've seen our improved entitlement process move Tree of Beauty into town within a matter of weeks. So that's something that we're taking pride in, whether it's fee deferrals, lowering fees, streamlining the permitting process, and a number of other incentives. We feel that combined, it's helping to make a difference now, but more importantly, as the market improves, it's going to have us well positioned as we move forward. So, thank you.